Hello. How are we doing? I'm still getting the time wrong. Brilliant. Let's just learn to say hello. Everyone's on different time zones. Insane. Wife must be away. Funny enough, she's out on the tune. So yeah, she's gone into the tune with one of the sons to have a look at suits. So yeah, house to myself, Sunday. I'll be cooking a roast later on, so I'll have had enough later on. So I'll go live now. But yeah, I mean, let's just check in with crypto generally. I mean, Bitcoin's still hovering at 30.5. Daily now pretty much sideways for a week. We're due a move in one direction or another. It's looking pretty flaggy. It's looking pretty flaggy. Um, we've got a strong pole there and possible flag formation here. A little bit longer to play out if it is a flag, but we'll see. I'm optimistic. The stochastic RSI was heading down on the daily. It's kind of stopped, but it's still very, very high. So we'll have to wait and see really what happens there. Really unpredictable on the longer time frames. If we go into the hourly, though, on Bitcoin, just check in and see what's happening on the hourly. You can see just how long we've been stuck inside this channel. So really, really hovering between 29.5 and 31, occasionally breaking out both sides, but a really, really definite mid-range here of 30.3, 30.4. And we're going to break out eventually, hopefully. The stochastic RSI did reset with this slow period here. Now we're back on the way up on the 1 hourly. But as I said, the daily, it's still very high. So I would still expect a pullback if we're doing chart action. The volume here is not that significant. You can see here the big volume that we had to cause this momentum. And we don't have that at the moment. I mean, this was some good volume to see us upwards, but it was after a downward movement. So reset the stochastic RSI and then move upwards. We don't really have the volume at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when the markets open tomorrow. Is it a bad time to go into ARB or AVAX? I mean, Arbitrum I love as a project long term. I think Arbitrum's got some real strength to it. What I would say is it's not been tested yet as a layer two. It's not been stress tested. And the ecosystem's gone rather quiet, is what I would say, and that's going to be typical. They launched a new layer two network. There's lots of projects on there. They've had the hype, but it's gone kind of quiet again. $1.13. I mean, it certainly has been cheaper. It's been down to 90 cents on the daily, but generally it looks like it's kind of cheap. But if you're holding it long term, I think personally you need to look at the tokenomics as well. The tokenomics on Arbitrum aren't great. So look at it, because obviously you've got to remember Arbitrum was a heavily sponsored VC project. There are a lot of VCs in Arbitrum, so they'll be wanting to get their money back through those tokenomics. So the supply will dilute. You have to be very, very careful. AVAX, different story, but let's finish looking at Arbitrum. So it's currently a $1 billion market cap. Fully diluted, of course, very different story, 11.3 billion. So we're talking there that, there is like 12% of the supply, so 10.5% of the supply out in circulation. So there's going to be an awful lot of token dilution. Check the vesting schedules on Arbitrum, see when that comes out. If you're trading it short term, time it in between dilutions. If you're trading it long term, if you think it's going to be good, it might be okay to hold, but I'm not buying Arbitrum. Even though I like it, the tokenomics would make me worse off on a long-term hold because I don't want to trade it. So it's not for me at the moment, not in terms of investment. So that was Arbitrum. AVAX, slightly different. AVAX for me is one that actually I did like in the previous bull run, but the ecosystem was actually pretty poor. I like the three-chain approach solution to scalability and security. They had the XYZ chains, and they all perform their different functions. And it is a good solution. It is a solution to the trilemma problem. Just to have three separate chains in one, if you like. But AVAX for me really did underperform. The market cap is still $5 billion. I think that's too high. I don't think AVAX is a $5 billion project. I really don't think it is. There's no good projects on AVAX network at all. I can't think of a single one. So 4 billion now. It's just dipped down to 4 billion. So a $4 billion market cap on AVAX. I just think it's too much. It's not worth that. All-time token price on AVAX 137. Let's round up to $140. All-time high on the market cap is $30 billion. So we're talking about a 3x to all-time high on. Sorry, not 3x. I'm on about. So this is $4 billion. So 7.5x back up to that market cap. But the token price to get to 146 would actually need to 11 or 12x. So there has been some severe token dilution there as well. So to get to that market cap, you're going to need to have a much stronger price. So AVAX for me just isn't strong. Thank you for the likes and the shares, by the way, people. I do appreciate the support. If you can keep smacking the likes and shares, I'd really appreciate that. Sundays are Sundays, after all. They're very slow. Not many people are interested. They'll wait till the market's open tomorrow. Do I think DOT could 10x during the bull run? For me personally, I'm still very, very, very bullish on Polkadot. I think when you think about what it was doing in the previous bull run, it was setting up its ecosystem, getting all the parachains in place. It had no actual ecosystem, though. There were no projects live, really, in the bull run. They all came live towards the end of the bull run. So things like Moonbeam, etc., launched in December, January 2022, 2023. So they kind of missed the bull run. For me, Polkadot, as I said, I've got to reduce my dollar cost average because thinking about it realistically, I believe it could reach all-time high again. I think it's the only true competitor at the moment to Ethereum. I really do. I'm that bullish on Polkadot. And when you think about things like Moonbeam that are on the network that allow Ethereum developers to come and build Ethereum projects on Polkadot, it just makes sense. But in terms of the Fibonacci retracement I drew before, my first take profit target is about $30, then 36, then $44, $45. I do think it's stronger than that, but looking at the charts, it would suggest that maybe I need to be a little bit more cautious. So I'm reducing my DCA on Polkadot to try and maximize my profit, my ROI. But I do like Polkadot. All-time high, it could happen. It depends how well it performs. And right now, I mean, there is a lot of activity on the GitHub. So developer activity on the GitHub is very, very high. They've been top performers for numerous weeks recently. What's happening with XRP? Not too much at the moment. We've had some really good bullish news stories recently, but we've seen partnerships with Volante, which is obviously a Ripple partner as well. So we are seeing more and more partnerships get announced with Ripple's involvement all the time. The Fed now, I think it is using Volante, and obviously that will be a Ripple partner. So they are involved with FedNow indirectly. If you just believe that one news story, they're indirectly involved through Volante. That will see some use case, but I don't know how much. I don't know the FedNow setup, so I couldn't sort of speculate on price action. But there's a lot of bullish news, a lot of expectation that maybe the case has to settle before FedNow goes live. So you've got the FedNow and the SEC, two government kind of organizations, if you like, in the US. Kind of, they're going to have to work together because if FedNow is going to work properly, Ripple need to be free to use XRP on RippleNet to support Volante, which is a partner of FedNow. So you would hope that something has to happen quickly. Marky, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. What do I think of Agix? What X do I see it doing? I mean, Agix is already a massive, massive project. Let's not fool ourselves here. Agix has been doing well the last day or so. It was up 10% yesterday. Where is it today? Let's go and have a look. I mean, I like the use case. I'm very wary about investing in things that are already hundreds of millions or billions of dollars in market cap. Because although I think they could do very, very well in a bull run, there's not the percentage return there. So $300 million market cap. They're doing 20% of that a day in volume, so that's 60 million, which is very, very good. Maximum supply 2 billion, total supply in circulation. Where are we? 61%. So there's still some tokens to be released. The good thing about Agix is it has actually been around a while. It's been around since 2018, so it survived the bear market. I'm ignoring this high because this is just launch hype high in the bull run. So then into the bear market. April 21 high, no, September 21 high, which is great. And it has come back, obviously, with the AI kind of narrative run that we had earlier in the year. Very, very strong project. I do think it's got more in the tank. I don't know how many X's it would do. I think anyone that tells you how many X's the things can do, they're just guessing. I'll tell you if I'm guessing, but I don't know enough about Ajax to guess. But I certainly think there's room in the tank for them to come back up. And we've seen them do more before. As I said, just always be careful about tokenomics. So token price and market cap, two different things. So you can see here this high, 65 cents. Okay, so 65 cents was there in September. Let's go to market cap. That market cap was 556 million. The current market cap is 301. So you've got less than a 2x there to get back to that price, to get back to that market cap. But you've got basically a 2.5x to get back to the actual price. So there have been more tokens hit the market, diluting that price, making it harder to get back up to that price again. So 65 cents is definitely possible if it does all-time high again up here. But the market cap would obviously have to be significantly higher. So yeah, it's going to be a struggle. And we've seen it up at 700 million fairly recently. That market cap on the AI run reached 700 million. That shows you how different the token price actually is, because the price wasn't any different, but the market cap was way higher. Vanfish, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Hope you're very, very well. Am I buying XRP? No, I don't buy XRP anymore. I've got a bag and I'm sitting on it. I am earning more XRP through my Uphold reward card, just for doing nothing, basically. So I get 4% on my crypto spend. That just goes back into the XRP bags on the Zoom wallet. I'm doing nothing with XRP but hodling. I don't see the point in DCA into it. I'm happy with the bag I've got, and there are possibly better ROIs out there short term than XRP. What was all-time high for DOT? DOT's all-time high was about $55. Which among VeChain and FET is better for holding long term? I don't actually like VeChain. The use case for me is a good one, and I did hold it at one point. FET's got a smaller market cap, and you'd think if it's successful, it's a better ROI. It's difficult to compare because they're very different industries. They both have good use case. AI, obviously, bang on trend, and AI will explode again. VeChain, for me, bit of an old tired dog. It wasn't ever spectacular. I think it's a slow growth one. But Fetch AI, $191 million market cap, 3/4 to 2/3 fully diluted. It's got a decent chance of doing very, very well. Fetch AI's total highest market cap before. Come on, market cap, work with me here. You can do it. So the highest market cap it ever had, it's gone to all-time charts, 694 million. Now, at that point, 694 million, the token price was 93. So you're talking about a 3.5x on market cap, but the price would need to be a 4x. So it's had some token dilution as well. And that's normal. It's nothing abnormal. But just to bear in mind, to get back up to this price, your market cap's going to have to be a lot higher. It needs to hit new all-time highs by about another 20-25% to get to that whole all-time high on the token price again. So Fetch is younger, smaller market cap, possibly very good action in the bull run. AI is a spot-on narrative, and Fetch is a good one for that narrative. But VeChain, it's got a good, solid, long-term use case. I don't like it in terms of performance, that's all. If you're talking like holding it forever, then probably VeChain, but Fetch AI might have a really good short-term return. Not financial advice, of course. I'm just guessing. No one really knows. But AI is definitely good for a shorter-term hold. ARweave, I don't really know a lot about it. ARweave. Morning, just looking. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I hope you're very, very well. What do I think about AI coins, Fetch, Ocean, Singularity? I think they're all great. I mean, Ocean's looking pretty good. Singularity, of course, and Fetch, but they are kind of like the three next one. Singularity is obviously I think the biggest. I think Fetch and Ocean have got an equal chance outside of them, but they're both looking. They're all three of those look like pretty good. They all ran in the AI narrative. It's just kind of like whichever one you can work out might have the best ROI. Might be the one to hold. I don't know. I don't actually hold any AI tokens at the moment. I've got a little bit of a ride chain, but I don't really like the tokenomics on it. I'm going to get some more deep brain chain. I quite like that one. Another micro cap that I've been looking at. I have traded. I made a 4 or 5x on that at the narrative. But yeah, I don't hold a lot of AI tokens really. I was a bit late to that party, hence why I've only dabbled in the small caps. Do I believe the Bitcoin hype though will explode during the bull run, well exceed previous highs? I think the bull run will continue to be adopted, and therefore at some point it will achieve all-time highs again. Especially if we see even a spot ETF will be brilliant for Bitcoin. Of course, we're seeing ETFs being granted in the Asia markets, which is fantastic. I do think Bitcoin will continue to grow. Will we see new all-time highs in the next bull run? I don't know. Long term, I think so. Yes. The bull run would be the right time, an ideal time. We've got another year and a half before we get into the bull run. So I think there's a definite scale of possibility that it should reach all-time highs. I certainly don't think Bitcoin's going anywhere. And if the market's strong, it's because Bitcoin's strong. Do I like Engine, Mana, or Sand? I think Engine for me, I really like Engine, but I actually hold Affinity, which is their layer one platform that was launched on the Polkadot network, that was one of the parachains. So I hold some Affinity. I don't hold any Engine. I do like Engine though; it's a good, strong play. Mana and Sand also great plays. The two kind of leaders in their arena. I've always argued though with metaverse and gaming that it won't necessarily be the market leaders or the first to market that are champions of the market forever. I think we will see almost like a dot-com bubble burst, and we'll see a lot of the big players fade away for newcomers, especially in the tech market. It moves so quickly. We can't possibly say that what's good now is good in 2 years. The area will completely change, and the tech will completely change. But yeah, I do like them. I like all three. I don't hold any of them. I'll be completely honest. I don't hold any at all, but I do hold Affinity. I mentioned Ori a while back. Any thoughts on it now? Yeah, Ori Chain for me is a really good AI network. It's just that the tokenomics really aren't in their favor. We saw it run up like a 4 or 5x in the AI narrative. It is a chain that was built years ago for AI specifically, and therefore, at the time, I believed it could bounce back, and it did. We are just seeing it sink back into old habits and old levels. I might possibly buy some more Ori Chain on the thought that it could 4 or 5x again when the next AI pump happens. I think the AI pump will happen quite regularly towards and into the bull run because it is an area of massive, massive growth. Everyone's talking AI. So Ori Chain or almost any project AI related that isn't a shit coin, I think has a chance of doing really well when AI is a big narrative again. Heard someone say that after halting Bitcoin, BTC will crash hard. After the halving, Bitcoin will crash hard. I mean, historically, let's go and have a look. Bitcoin weekly. I mean, I only joined crypto in the last bull run, so I didn't experience the last bear market or therefore the halving leading into the bull run. But if we go back 4 years, so what 2020, I think the halving was like late 19 into 2020. No, I don't want a free trial. Go away. I'm happy. I'm happy just not paying. So that's March. So kind of like I think the halving was I don't know somewhere around here. I don't know the date off the top of my head. But you can see here the halving. There might have been a bit of a dip and then it took off. Let's Google actually Bitcoin halving. So it was May 2020 was the last one. So May 2020. So basically, no, there was no dip after the last halving. The last halving it carried on going sideways, and then we went parabolic into the next bull run. reached 64k, crashed back down to 29, and then went back up to all-time high of 69, 69 and a half. So no apparent dip after the halving. I mean, we could now have turned it into a buy the rumor, sell the news event, which does typically be, it is typically the case. But the Bitcoin halvings are a big kind of explosive event for a reason. It reduces the amount of Bitcoin hitting the market. It kind of therefore increases the value of new Bitcoin hitting the market. People that are hodling, obviously, as well, waiting for the price action that we've had before. I think people will hodl Bitcoin. I don't think they'll take advantage of the buy the rumor, sell the news type event on it. We might see a little bit of a sell-off every now and again, but you can see here when you zoom out, the action wasn't that vast. It was mostly upward action after May 2020. And the previous Bitcoin halving to that was July 16. I'm just wondering if I can get back that far. Not really. Not on this chart anyway. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there'll be a major sell-off or dip on Bitcoin after the halving, if any. It really was the catalyst for the upward momentum in the previous run. And generally, the halving is a catalyst for a reason. It is a very bullish event for Bitcoin. Tango Mike, how are we doing, buddy? Do I like any gaming cryptos? Yes, I do. I mean, there's quite a few I like in terms of tokenomics and return. I mean, there was a couple of like degen type gaming plays I had last year that did really well. Dragon something or other on AVAX did really well. Did several X on that one. I did play with Illuvium a little bit, just a tiny bit, but I wasn't like holding it. I was just buying it when it was low, selling it when it was high because it was so volatile. But there are some gaming ones that I like. I mean, I'm holding some land in the metaverse purely because I managed to get into a pre-sale. Very, very speculative, not mana, not sand. So just have got to wait and see what happens with it. But I'm not hugely into it. I am getting into it, though. Certainly the gaming side, I think, is going to be huge. In terms of gaming, I bought into the pre-sale of Xborg, which was Swissborg's sister company for gaming specifically. The good thing about Xborg is that they're already out there. They've already got a platform, an esports tournament type platform, and they're out there competing. I was watching them on Twitch yesterday in a competition. I think Xborg could be something really serious. And as I said, that pre-sale was very recent, but they're already out there. Just because the token's not out yet, but you know the platform and the team itself, they're already up and trading. So yeah, Xborg I like, Affinity I like. Of course, I said that's Engine's layer one gaming platform, but I'm not too much into it for anyone else other than that. Well, I've missed the boat on Bitcoin. I'm not paying 46k for it. No, Anthony, I agree. I'm not going to be buying Bitcoin at these prices. I mean, if I'm going to accumulate Bitcoin now, it will be at cheaper prices. I think if I zoom into Bitcoin on the daily from the weekly, for me, I think I might buy Bitcoin if it comes down to kind of like below 25k again. If there's a dip now, I actually, unless it's a black swan event, I don't think Bitcoin's going to crash too much below 25, maybe to 24.9, unless we have a black swan event. So if it comes back down here at some point, I might bag some Bitcoin then, because I do think it's another 6 to 12 months, and we'll start seeing more upward action as we approach the halving. Wasn't halving about 300-ish days, something like that. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens with that. But yeah, Bitcoin last week or so really stable above 30k, which is good. We did do this before for a few days and then we crashed down, but then we recovered. It could be a similar story, but this is ever so slightly higher, this consolidation. So if we can bounce back off 29k and keep bouncing back, which we have been doing on the daily, if we have a look at this, it's been quite a strong area for us. The wicks have come down to this 29.6, 29.5 level a couple of times, and we bounced back up. So that's good. And if we can consolidate above 30, then that's even better. That would suggest a leg up. But the stochastic RSI is still very high. I'm expecting a pullback. And like I say, if it could pull back to 25, I might buy a little bit of Bitcoin. I don't have any in my portfolio right now. Problem on gaming coins is tokenomics. 100% Dreamer. You look at all the gaming tokens, the tokenomics are awful. Gala have improved, but I've always said, Gala, you've got to watch the tokenomics because they will drain in liquidity. And recently they have upped the circulating supply, and it has affected the price. So when Gala went on that run, rather predictably, they dumped tokens, and it reduced the price of the token. So even though I like Gala as a platform, I won't invest in it because the tokenomics were shite. But the tokenomics have now improved slightly. I might consider it, but all the people that were holding loads and loads of Gala, you've been shat on, and I told you this would happen. I mean, I can illustrate it pretty clearly in the chart. I hope. Let's have a look. I'm not going to say a month, but I think their V2 thing was a while ago. So in the last month, so their price of the token, it might be longer than that. Let's go to a year. There we go. So in the last year, they topped out at 56 cents. Their market cap at that point, come on, you can do it. Their market cap at that point was about 445 million. Okay, so 445 million versus 55 cents. Your market cap is now 180. Let's say 190 million. Yeah, 190 million. Let's say it's 190 million, but your price is 23 cents. So it's a big gap there between price and market cap. And Gala, I'm on Fetch still. Bloody hell! I was going to say I thought it was a bigger gap than that. I'm losing my mind. That didn't sound right. Autopilot reading the screen instead of actually reading what it was. Right, let's try this shit again. Chaos, welcome, buddy. How are you doing? You the man. How are you doing? So let's have a look at this. This will make more sense now. This will make sense because I'm actually looking at Gala now. So let's have a look. Come on. Right. So price. So the price this year topped out in August at 7 cents. So August it was 7 cents. But the market cap is higher right now at 600 million. And your market cap is now 538. Okay, so your market cap's now 538. Your market cap back here was 592. How can your market cap be higher, but your price so much lower? Because they dumped a load of fucking tokens on you. And that's exactly what I said Gala would do. Because their supply, their tokenomics was awful, absolutely awful. I mean, it's improved now, yes. So they got nearly 50% of the supply out there. I still don't really like that. You need to be very careful of the vesting schedule with Gala because they will dump more tokens on you. But this is why I've never liked Gala's tokenomics because in effect, like I say, your market cap now 538 million. Your market cap back then 492. So your market cap's gone up. So why is your token worth 1/3 of what it was? Because they dumped that much token on you. They've tripled the supply. So your token's worth 1/3 of what it was. It's shit. And I don't care how much I love the project. If the tokenomics don't work for me, I will not buy it. How much do I think the whole of crypto will pump to if the war in the Ukraine ends? Absolutely no idea. I think anyone who even tries to answer that is just fooling themselves. In terms of the stock markets and a lot of companies, war is actually good for revenue, good for earnings. Crypto is obviously very, very different. But ultimately, no one knows. No one can answer that question. I think the effects of the war will be felt for a long time. It doesn't matter when it ends. Fiscally, we're still screwed. It's going to take a while to get out of that. Gala insane price. Gala's insane price now because they shat the supply on you. It's not because it's become cheaper. The market cap is higher now than it was when it was 70 cents. So the chance of the market cap going up more to get you back up to 7 cents, your market cap has to treble now from its current market cap of 538 million to 1.5 billion to get you to 7 cents. It's not going to happen outside the bull run. And if you're expecting a 10 or 15x, you're looking at a $5 billion, $7.5 billion market cap to get you there. I don't see it happening with Gala. I just don't. And they've got more tokens to dump on you still. They're still only halfway diluted. Straight marketing. Yeah, absolutely. Alethea AI is going to have a quick pump. Alethea AI, let's have a look at that one, buddy. Alicia, you fooled me then because it's now artificial liquid intelligence, isn't it? Let's have a look. So yeah, I've explained myself perfectly with Gala for a very long time, and that has played out exactly. ALI, Alicia, or now what is known as an artificial liquid intelligence, currently 2 cents, market cap 74 million, circulating supply only 35%. So a similar thing, 10 billion tokens. Not great supply, but you have to check the vesting schedules as to when more is due to hit the market. Certainly not a long-term hold for me. So in the last year, you've seen a price go up to 8 cents. So we've got a 4x there in price. Let's see what the market cap's done. So the market cap back then was 300 million. We're now at 75 million. That's a 4x. So you're looking at a market cap 4xing and a price 4xing. So the tokenomics haven't changed. So we're okay on that one. So at the moment, as long as no more tokens are due to hit the market, then yeah, I think ALI may well be due a little pump. We've seen quite a few little runs, but it hasn't done anything for a while. I think the AI market in general is about to probably get a little bit of a shift on. It's been quiet for a while, but it's still a very, very strong narrative. What do I think on Naka? I think Nakamoto Games is a great competitor to Gala and to UOS. I think Naka could be very, very strong. It's already been on a hell of a run though. I mean, I didn't get onto it quick enough. Fitzo Crypto, he was him and his group were on Naka very, very early. They got some fantastic gains out of that. I know that he's still holding, but when I've spoken to him about whether or not it's a good time, he just reminded me about the gains it's already had. And with those gains, uh, and with those gains, obviously there could be more dumps. So Naka for me, I like things that are competitors to big market caps, but I'm holding off right now. I agree with what he was saying. It's kind of like when it's run up that much, it could continue to dump for a while. What could it go to in bull run if it goes to 10 cents? That's a 5x. It did lose a third in value, yeah, because I mean, it's got a higher market cap now at 2 cents than it had when it was at 7 cents. So your market cap has gone up, but your token is worth 1/3. So there's only one thing that's happened. They've diluted the supply by 2/3. So let's just say for round numbers, you had 10 million tokens and it was worth 100 million. It's still worth 100 million, but you've now got 30 million tokens. If your market cap's now higher even, then your tokens are actually worth less than that. So yeah, that's why just working out the tokenomics in that way. Gala, I've always said it's going to dump, and it did. So that's what's happened. Your market cap is now higher than ever, near enough. Certainly higher than when it was, a lot higher than when it was 7 cents, but it's now only worth 2 cents. So although the price looks great, remember the market cap. If it goes to a 5x current market cap, $2.5 billion market cap, that's feasible. I'll just be careful about saying it's going to at least 3, 4, 5x back up to all-time high, because that's not strictly true. Market cap is near all-time high. Market cap's actually higher than where it was. Morpheus Network is also done. Morpheus Network is actually one that I've been looking at very, very closely. I'm still not into it, but Morpheus Network is definitely something that I like. Let's have a look at Morpheus, MNW. So Morpheus Network currently $1.1, $53 million market cap, 98% circulating supply. That's what I like to see. It's got a maximum supply 47.8 or 47.9 million. They're nearly all in circulating supply. So any positive news for Morpheus Network, that price is going in one direction. It's also got a great use case. It's been around since 2018. It went through the bear market, high in the bull run, higher in the bull run. October, November high in the bull run, December high in the bull run, which is phenomenal to see. This is what I like to see. I like to see a high, then a high, and then that November, December high. If I can see that as well, that's perfect for me. I like it. It's bullish. And of course, we've seen it have some great recoveries. It has been up above $2. during this bear market. I do think we're still in a bullish period of the bear market. I don't truly believe that we've started the bull run yet. Very, very early. But yeah, I mean, it's a hugely popular project now, Morpheus. It's gaining a lot of traction. It's been around a long time. It's survived the bear market already. Use case is pretty cool. And I was just waiting for an entry point. I mean, for me, I think I'm probably waiting for sub $1. But I do like Morpheus. I'm going to try and research it. I might even reach out for an AMA. I don't think I have reached out yet. I'd love to get some of these people in for AMAs to explain projects. HBAR utility partners projects. I absolutely love. It's just HBAR is really predictable. It's what I call a proper utility project. It does have partnerships. It does have utility. It's got good tech, good team, but it just slowly churns away, slowly releases more supply. Just like Ghana, I was arguing, HBAR dumped a load more tokens on the market recently, and you did see the price come down because of it. So HBAR is good, but again, tokenomics and kind of the slow growth of it keep me away. Marketing will go back to AI coins, Bitcoin. Let's not mention that. I've gotten away. I don't think I've ever had to mention that token before on my live. So thanks for that, Chaos. Appreciate that, buddy. Wall Street memes. Yeah, Wall Street memes is an interesting one. I'm already. I've been speaking to people about Wall Street memes. I'm not officially part of that, but they've put me on their website. There are conversations taking place. So I'm not officially representing that project yet, but we'll see. But yeah, Wall Street memes is an interesting one. They've got huge marketing push going on, massive followers. They are in pre-sale, and I've been speaking to them. That's about all I can really say at the moment. Got a bag of Man. Any good long term? Man or Mana? Mana's decent. I mean, Mana is one of the first to market, one of the biggest. As I said, just technology wise, it might be outdone in the future. HBAR is a paid influencer coin as well. Well, they've never fucking paid me. If they had, I might have been a bit nicer about them. Barry Doge, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. I hope you're very, very well. IYG, how you doing? Any thoughts on API 3? Now, API 3 is one that I've never really looked at too closely. I've got to be honest. And I know that API 3 the one that TJ liked before he became when he was Crypto Weatherman. Is that the one that he thinks is a competitive project to someone else? Let me have a look. I get confused sometimes. There's so many projects out there. So current market cap on API 3, 90 million. Fully diluted 130 million. So we've got about a third of the supply left to come out into circulation. Let's go. Come on, chart. What's the matter with you? Honestly, I've got like 24 gig of RAM in this laptop. It should be able to do this. It's not an issue. Right, there we go. Okay, so all-time chart. Okay, so API 3 has been up as high as like basically $9. That's a 9x from where we are. Let's do the old market cap test though. That was obviously April 21. That was in the bull run. It did have a later run, but not as high, which I'd like to see it higher. Market cap has increased since then, so it's 281 in Feb 22. So Feb 22 token price was 7.7. 222.77. So yeah, I mean it's changed quite a bit on the tokenomics front. So we only need 2.5x ish, no 3x to get back to all-time high on market cap. But to get back to all-time high price, we need a 9x. So there has been some token dilution on API 3. That's the first and foremost. Tokenomics have got to be good, and they are definitely better than they were. And it's not bad tokenomics, just it's not awful. Decentralized versions of APIs. 2 audits. Oracle. Yeah, so it's kind of like, I think this is a Chainlink competitor, basically. I think, and with something like Chainlink is so big. I would definitely look for a smaller cap that is as good or competitive, and hope that they capture some of the market. API 3 certainly looks to be the case. I think for me, I do like risk reward. I like decent ROIs. Whilst Link, I think, is a solid play in a lot of regards. API 3, you could argue, better risk reward ratio. But we don't know how these tokens have behaved and how will they survive coming through regulation. Um, Crypto Chaos is TJ now. TJ, you've taken over his crypto side. You're doing his crypto business. Cool. Exciting news. Oh, that's the second time I've almost mentioned that token on my live, and you've only been here for like 5 minutes, Chaos. Thank you for sharing the live, buddy. I appreciate that, Chaos. I appreciate that 100%. Thank you very much. But yeah, I mean, recently people have lost focus, I think, on they've concentrated so much on token price. They've forgotten about risk reward. They've forgotten about competition. They've forgotten about token dilution. And I'm just trying to pull back people to remember that we're here to invest and make ROIs. Whilst Chainlink might be the big dog, API 3 is more competitive in terms of possible ROI. And the tokenomics, you've got to be careful of what to expect when you're setting your profit targets. As I said, market cap all-time high is only 3x from our current position. And we're right down here. So the market cap is doing quite well. The price is shite because tokens diluted it. We need a 9x to get to all-time high on price, but we only need a 3x to get back to market cap high. So you've got to be careful. Chainlink not a security. I think most of these projects are securities. The only reason why I like Link is because Link, I think, could do what Polkadot have done. Link could declare that they're a software as a service. They might have a fine to pay because they were a security, but they could argue that they're software as a service and therefore currently excluded from the securities laws in the US. Obviously, because that's the only place where it's applicable, where it goes. Because, of course, the UK, like crypto, we're passing laws to adopt it and welcome it in. We're not trying to get rid. It's a little bit of a dig at the US. But, the US is getting there. They're trying. But yeah, I think that Polkadot, they declared themselves to be a software as a service, therefore currently exempt from your securities laws in the US. I think that's why they're not on the list. Although it's not been confirmed by the SEC, they haven't been on the list yet. And I did do a TikTok a while ago where I listed the full list of like 68 projects that have been specifically named by the SEC, 13 of which were under the Mirror Protocol, 13 more recently, and then some old ones that people have forgotten about as well. Crypto Chaos, you're moving to the UK. You're coming from Florida, mate, so you'll be used to the rain but not the cold, so bring some warm clothes. But buddy, if you're coming to the UK, you'll be more than welcome. But yeah, I think the UK is trying to be the Singapore of Europe. I personally think that Europe's got some strong bases for crypto, but if the UK could become the Singapore of Europe, I think that's really, really bullish, because you've got places that are gateways to European registration, and that's how a lot of cryptos are doing it at the moment. They're basing themselves in a European country, getting approval from that country and saying we're approved by the EU, or we've got a approval in Europe, and that's perfectly fine, obviously legally correct. But I think if the UK was an out-and-out crypto hub, I think people would flock to the UK. You got UK, Singapore. Hey, hombre. Thank you for the gift, Chaos. Appreciate that, buddy. Oh, and John, thank you for the roses. I haven't noticed any of these gifts. I do apologise. John, thank you for the roses. Chaos, thank you for the gifts, but I hadn't seen those pop in. I usually get a little pinging noise, but I must have turned it off. I should do a series on the securities. I could. You're absolutely right. Actually, I should go through and go through the list of securities. It's a really interesting subject. I also did do a few videos on the US securities markets. I think I nicked it off Mason, because Mason came out ages ago saying that there is actually a securities market for crypto in the US, and the market is tiny. literally tiny. Most of the market cap is dominated by one project, but you do have exchanges on there, just like CoinMarketCap. You've got references in there, you've got exchanges in there, and they are set up for security. So if you think that 99% of what we're currently looking at in the crypto market is a security, and they carry on trading and they register as a security with the SEC, they're going to live there, aren't they? Surely. So surely it's worth looking at. But yeah, I think you're right. The security series is an interesting one. I might actually have a look at doing that. Any price prediction on DOT end of the year? DOT end of year, I'd be happy if it was still $5. I think November, December is going to be interesting because I think we'll either plummet to real lows or we'll go up a little bit. But I'd be happy. I'd be happy for the next 12 months for DOT to stay at $5 and then go. I really would. I'm accumulating DOT, so the cheaper it gets, the better for me. How about AVAX? Is that going to be considered a security? It hasn't been specifically mentioned on any list as far as I can recall. But ultimately, AVAX, I think is AVAX proof of stake. If it's proof of stake, it's probably got issues. And this is where Ethereum's kind of shot itself in the foot. It's gone from proof of work, which wasn't ever a security. It's gone to proof of stake. And the whole nature of proof of stake makes it security. So if Ethereum get a free pass, there's going to be absolute outrage. Never mind, ETHgate, which is the XRP army's favorite narrative right now. Oh, never mind the Ripple lawsuit. What about ETHgate? ETH's in trouble. ETH. But that's just, it's a narrative that people are trying to distract from. At the end of the day, I think proof of stake's got issues. AVAX, I can't remember if it's proof of work or proof of stake. That's really bad. Decentralized, Ethereum. Damn it, I can't remember. I haven't heard it mentioned, and I'm not sure if it's proof of work or proof of stake. Moving next door to Dark Horse. Isn't Dark Horse off to Australia soon? Hasn't he sold his house now? Dark Horse stole your girlfriend. I mean, it's the tax in the UK which will mess it up. Yeah, the tax is going to be an interesting one because there's been people saying that they're going to class it as gambling. They're never going to classify crypto investment as gambling. They've already declared a crypto as a regulated trading environment. So that's leading into, right, okay, if you trade it, you've got to do it through these platforms, this legislation, these tax laws. So it's never going to go. Crypto is never going to be classified as gambling. It's going to be classified as an investment, in which case it will be subject to tax. People forgot how many have been called out already. Yeah, this is it. I mean, I can't remember. I don't think AVAX has been specifically called out. But securities, basically, I think anything that's proof of stake is from the definitions I understand it, the US SEC. I think anything that's a proof of stake is a risk. And Ethereum was safe until it went to proof of stake. I don't know. Online cancelling promo code for XRP. I love XRP Ripple, guys. Don't get me wrong. I still love XRP Ripple. I'm just not falling for any of the narrative and the stories and the bullshit. I think ETHgate, you don't hear anyone talking about ETHgate unless they're an XRP shiller. It's true. Who's talking about ETHgate? XRP people. I haven't heard anyone else talk about it. Can US claim a crypto security, but other countries claim it as a commodity? How would that work? They can. And if they want to trade in that country, they've got to abide by that country's regulations. It's as simple as that. So, if Ripple is declared a security in the US, I don't think it will be. I think currently it's not. We've got a secondary market. It's not currently a security. Only new sales would class as a security. But if Ripple were classed as a security in the US, they would have to trade differently in the US, if at all. It could still exist, it could still function, but they would have different licensing and reporting and slightly different use limitations in the US. But the rest of the world still free to trade. The rest of the world doesn't give a shit what the SEC says. That's why Ripple is still making massive partnerships. Uh, Love the community. Zach is only wearing suits now. Oh, is Zach back on his suits? Has he got a new folder yet? That's the question. Have I got to do another brown folder video? Do I think Bitcoin will drop again, or is this the new low? I do. I personally expect Bitcoin to dip again at some point. I think we're looking like we've consolidated in this area a couple of times now. So we're really kind of like fighting this 30.3, 30.4 level. And we've been fighting it for quite a while. This support level of 29.5 looks pretty firm. I think if we have an event, it will pull us down maybe to 24, 25. And then if it goes down below that, I think we're in real trouble. I do think we've got decent support, though, at these levels. We've got various levels of support. And I think it'll take us a black swan event to get down past 25. But the stochastic RSIs on Bitcoin are very high still. They've flattened out a little bit at the moment on the daily. On the weekly, let's check out where the weekly stochastic RSI is actually on the way up. So it's really contradictory. It's really difficult to call. Because if I go to the 4-hourly and zoom in on the short term, it's very mid. The 4-hourly chart's not telling me anything at all. The daily chart would suggest, that maybe we need a little bit. We're going to have a little bit of a pullback continuation. But then the weekly chart says, hang on a minute, I want to go up. The stochastic RSI is nice and low. But we look at the volume difference here. We need this volume to pump up and escape 30K. If we get that kind of volume again, I think we're up to 34, 35. Do I think that's likely to happen at the moment? All we need is one good piece of ETF news, and that happens. That happens for me. So we'll see. Ripple losing, Metaco, Citigroup deals massive. It is, yeah. But they've got lots of others to fall back on. I mean, I'm not too worried about Ripple. I think if you buy shares in Ripple when they do their IPO, if it hasn't happened already, I can't even remember. I think that's a sound investment still. It's just XRP tokens dubious. Bricks and Slides, welcome, buddy. Good to see you. I hope you're very, very well. Just got to pause the live a moment, folks. Just need to help the kiddies. Hang on, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Just got to make some lunch. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Peanut butter jelly time. New kitchen. Come on. What's the eating? Peanut butter jelly time. Yo, I'm back. Get rid of the kids, then they'll be. Yo, damn right. Damn right. Richer in the pocket, but not in the heart. Am I still buying GMX? Not at the moment, no. I am waiting for a low on GMX. GMX for me. Where the fuck's my GMX? My GMX is gone. So for me, I think my buying range on GMX is basically anything below $40. That's where I'm going back into GMX for some more. I do still have my GMX. Kind of wish I'd sold it because I didn't have to lock it in, but I did. But for me, I buy a little bit of GMX when the price is right. But the one I want and the one that I've been talking about more and more recently, it is MUX Protocol. I mean, this chart is still very, very strong. Let's get rid of that. There's just no point in that being there. So this chart for me on MUX Protocol is still very, very strong. The price has come down considerably. We saw it hit $20 in this bear market, which is unbelievable. But it's still got a really good upward trend. Also, the fact that so much of the supply, it's only got a 10 million supply, and so much of that is locked in until 2026, 2027, means that my tokens that I've locked until October 2024, I should be able to pull out in time for the bull run, which I didn't do. I didn't do it the right way around, did I? In the last bull run, I was committing tokens in the bull run for 12, 18 months. Stupid. Chaos, I will not be buying either LimeWire or Bencoin. Yeah, I mean the thing is with these meme coins, and they are around people that have huge followings, and like it or not, you mention something, it sticks in your brain, and there we go. What's a bull run? A bull run is basically a prolonged period of upward momentum. So on Bitcoin, I would say more than anything else. But this Bitcoin period has been very, very different. This Bitcoin run for me is actually due to people retreating to Bitcoin. Whilst I'm on about that, actually, I'm going to do a video on it, but if you didn't see it already in the Discord, I linked a Swissborg video. Swissborg do something called thematics. They've got a Web3 thematic. It manages like a Web3 fund for you. They are in their next release. They're doing another thematics pot, which is gold and Bitcoin. And what it'll do is when Bitcoin's weak, it'll switch to gold. When gold's weak, it'll switch to Bitcoin. It'll keep balancing that for you. So it's kind of like going to be like a proper long-term investment thing where it keeps balancing gold and Bitcoin. I mean, I love Swissborg. Everyone knows that. I'm majorly biased on Swissborg. Absolutely love it. But yeah, I mean, that's a huge investment. I'm going to do a video soon, just sort of confirming what the changes are going to be and how it's going to happen. So the Web3 thematics is going to change to like just more like a layer 0, layer 1, layer 2 kind of assimilation, ETF if you like, that kind of structure. And then they're also going to have this gold and Bitcoin pot. But they're also going to be able to auto invest into those. So whilst we're able to auto invest at the moment into specific cryptos, we haven't been able to auto invest into the thematics. But we will now be able to do that. So that was just a quick one. If you want to check it out, link to Swissborg. It's actually up there, top right. Go check it out. But yeah, I mean that's a great one. But yeah, bull run, basically a period of prolonged upward momentum, and we kind of have had that, but this isn't a bull run for me. BitGet deal in Dubai plus other. I mean, BitGet really, really looking to be a very good exchange. Yeah, I'm gonna have a really good look at that. GMX is 86 AUSD. GMX in USD. I mean, I should be doing it in sterling, but obviously everyone talks in USDs really. So GMX in USD at the moment is $56. It's been up way higher. I think, as I said, I'm not going to buy any more unless it gets very, very cheap, because I'm actually going to keep DCAing into MUX Protocol, which is very similar, but with a much lower market cap. You're about to bring up my hairline. Yeah, I'm 45, mate, and there's nothing wrong with my hairline, I'll tell you. What's that? What's that? That side. Oh, getting a little bit thin, but yeah, I'm 45. Actually, I'm 46 this year. So yeah, I've still got my hairline. I'm doing all right for 46, guys. My brother was nearly bald at 21, so I'm more than happy with my hairline. Ben is going to be manipulated more than Ben. I kind of get it. Meow. Oh, big stribs. Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry, big stribs. Sorry. I thought everything's normally about me. This is my life. What are you fucking talking to each other for? What the fuck? You're all my friends, not each other's. So yeah, I mean, as I said, GMX is one that I really like, and I do hold and I do stake it. But I've actually committed MUX Protocol because I really like that long term, much smaller market cap, very similar project. But I really like perpetual dexes and AMMs. They're going to be really big, and we've seen Aave absolutely kick ass this last week. So Aave for me is definitely another one to watch. This one as well, and I've mentioned it before, incredibly volatile, market cap 3.5 million. I've been watching Saffron Finance a long time, and it's getting some real volatility and some real volume this last week. You can see here how much it's climbed, but actually kind of like over the last month, it's up 30% as well, and in the year, it's still down. So it shows you the kind of volatility that can be in this. So I'm quite tempted to have a look at some really small caps now. Certainly in the last month, there's some big names out there that are still down a long way. I mean, Matic's still down 25%. I sold all my Matic, like, I don't know, 6 months ago now, maybe longer. And that was the right thing to do, in my personal opinion. Matic's been named as a security, possible security on that list. But I do think it's got a fantastic utility. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Alchemy pays down 32%, but that was after it went on a massive run. Quorum's down 46%. It's 100% circulating supply. That, even if you don't like it, that could be worth a look. I mean, it's 100% circulating supply now. And the market cap 50 million for a layer one associated with the XRP army, XRPL, that could see some real adoption, some real use. So I am interested in it. And I do hold a bag that I got for free because I hold XRP and Sologenic. Could you recommend a good mobile USDT wallet? And obviously, I don't want to give financial advice, and it's not really financial advice. There are lots of solutions for wallets. You could have a Coinbase wallet. You could have a Crypto.com DeFi wallet. You could have MetaMask. There's a lot of kind of phone-based wallets out there. I like MetaMask. I've got to be honest with you. People say it's not secure. If you don't give anyone your seed phrase and you don't link stupid things to it, it's pretty safe. You've got hardware wallets, which are obviously not phone-based, but you could just use your phone as a hardware wallet. If you've got an old mobile phone, if you've got an old one, literally, you could just have nothing on there except your crypto wallets. Disconnect it from the internet, and then that then becomes a cold storage device. Yes, all right, you're using MetaMask or whatever, but don't connect it to the internet. It's a coldware wallet. I'm in both, but my MCB bag is way bigger than my GMX bag. Me too, Tango. I mean, my MCB bag, my MUX protocol, and I shit you not, that at one point that was my biggest holding because of the way it went up. I had more money in MUX protocol than anything else because it did so well in the bear market. And like I said, it was up at $20 at one point. I mean, I was flabbergasted. But currently it's at number 3. It's behind Moonbeam and Polkadot because I've been accumulating those two so much. Even though the prices have come down a little bit, it's now worth more than MCB because obviously MCB's come down from $20 to 13. So Yeah, so my portfolio is looking fairly healthy, but MCB has done fantastically well for a bear market. I was really, really impressed with it, and the market cap is still so small. Yeah, you're in the same kind of position as me. I mean, I like GMX, and I think GMX will do very, very well in the bull run. But in terms of gains of ROIs, MUX Protocol MCB is a great bag for me too. Oh, proper chaos. No, you got banned permanently again. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Really, really gutted. You are slightly controversial, I'll say that, in your style. Um, but I find that really entertaining. I don't find that offensive. I really like your style. It's just you are who you are. It's like some people don't like it, unfortunately, but I love it. I take it for what it is. And whenever you're critical as well, I bear in mind that it's very satirical. Your criticisms are satirical. You could say something horrible about me, and I'll know, unless I've been an idiot and said something really stupid, that you're just having a laugh, regardless of how you say it. Um, what's CFX? CFX is Conflux. Conflux is one of the preferred Chinese kind of mining tokens. You can mine it. I was mining Conflux last year very successfully, got up a large number, and I sold it at the beginning of the Chinese run, which was great. I made a lot of money, but I could have got so much more. Conflux was just ridiculous. CFX. Let's look for CFX. Where is the CFX bubble? Where is CFX? Up there somewhere. I can't find it. There's CFX. It'll be in here. There it is. So yeah, there we go. So over the last year, like you can see, Conflux was trading at 2 cents. Went up, it went up 20x to 40 cents in the Chinese narrative. I think I probably sold it at about 6 or 7 cents. I thought, well, that's a nice run. I'll sell that now. It went up to 40. Silly me. But you never know. I'm taking profit. And the one thing I learned from the last bull run, take your goddamn profit. Because if you don't, why are you here? But again, it's down 28%. And the China narrative is not going away. Need morning madness with crypto chaos fix. Best part of the day. I tell you what, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's chaos. You know a lot about crypto and investment. You seriously do, and I think people think you just hate everything and everyone. You're just very satirical, and there's knowledge behind every criticism. So people just need to be more aware and open to different styles of presentation. And that's something I've always liked about you. It's just the way you present it. Your even your cynicism is based on knowledge, and it's deliberate. So it's all good. I really like it. It is like a funny radio show in the morning. It's brilliant. Singularity versus Optimus. Optimus is not one I've ever heard of. Let's check this out. Sometimes I love these lives because I hear about things that I've never ever heard of before. Optimus. Let's have a look. Is this the one? OPTCM? Let's wait for the screen to change this time before I start talking about it. You don't want to leave money on the table either, no, but at least if you're taking some profits on the way up, you've made money. Because if you hold on too long and you get dumped on, no one wants that. So you're right. I mean, you don't like to sell too early either, but you set profit targets. I didn't have any on Conflux, so that Chinese run, I was like, right, sell it. I was just, I'd mined it, I'd held on to it. I thought I'll hold on to it to the bull run. The narrative hit. I was like, okay, I'll sell it now. Right, so Optimus, OPTCM, launched in January 2022, so pretty much in the bull run. It has run up in April, which is interesting to see, and it came back down and it's come back up. 1 million market cap, very small. Self-reporting supply, yuck. 50% circulating supply, if that's to be believed. Crypto system designed to be an optimal environment for crypto users and projects by providing them automated tools and helping them connect and invest in a safer way. Cross-chain semi-automatic two-way vesting launch pad. It's all right. There is a use for it, but it's kind of nothing new, nothing innovative. I don't know. That one wouldn't be for me. Chaos sold your son some special cookies. That does not surprise me either. I've got to be honest, that does not surprise me at all. It's brilliant. Right, okay. Let's have another look around. So, Tap actually is one that obviously that Martini guy was pumping. That's done very, very well in recent days. That was up 100% at one point. Let's check it out over the month. So it was at like 2.25 cents. It got up to 75 cents. It did 3x. It went up 300%. And it's starting the slow descent again now. But XTP, I think initially that was a really good shout by that Martini guy. Some people made some gains if you were in very early. I did like a 2x, nothing spectacular. I got in quite late. But I think XTP has had setbacks because it's American partners for its card and its exchange listing. Is it Bitfinex? They've had a few issues and possible setbacks. So I think the plan was in jeopardy, hence the massive decline. But I think that could be coming back. Casper's had a really strong month as well, up from 1.5 up to 2.7, currently at 2.5. So it's holding that really strong market cap under $500 million. I do quite like that, but I'm not going to buy it when it's been up 60% in the month. I mean, that's chasing a green candle as far as I'm concerned. The ones that I would buy are these big red ones. Not any specifically, but that's what I do. I look for the big red candles or the big red bubbles in this case and say, okay, well, in the last month, what's really gone down I like the look of long term? And these are where I'll be looking. I wouldn't be looking at these. It's good to know that they're going up, but I wouldn't be looking at them because I'm not interested. I'm not interested in buying them or selling them at this point. I'm going through an accumulation phase, and I want to accumulate stuff that's cheap. So as I said, Quorum, you might not like it, but I think you have to face facts that crypto is sometimes a popularity contest. Quorum and XRP appeal to a lot of people. Blue Zell's got a large following, not down too much though. Matic, of course, 25% down. You gotta be looking at that one. Sand, 20% down. Again, you've got to be looking at that one. Morpheus Network, again. Ocean, yes. I mean, there's so much down over 20% or more that I would look at the moment and just think I'd be interested. But I'm also trying to consolidate my portfolio, not expand it. I think I'm guilty. I'm definitely guilty. I don't think I'm guilty. I'm definitely guilty of having too many projects in my portfolio. I can't possibly track them properly. Phil, how are we doing? I just woke up. Why is XRP pumping? Because XRP is magnificent. I think XRP's got some news. Volante is part of FedNow, and obviously Ripple are partnered with Volante. I think that's the reason for the pump at the moment. But other than that as well, I mean, I've had this line of support in for a while. I mean, it's not been extended across. It did break down below it, but it recovered. It looks like we're now bouncing off this 47-cent mark. So just pulling that across, it would kind of make sense. There we go. So that line of continuation there, 47 cents looks like it's quite a decent line now. We're jumping off that one. If I zoom in on the hourly, how good is this action? It's not that great, but we're definitely coming away from that area of support. Where did we fail? We failed at 49 cents, which is to be expected. That's a pretty strong area of resistance historically there as well. Just looking back across. So yeah, we're having a nice little pump. We did get up to 49.5 cents. We're currently at 48. So definitely a big spike in volume. You can see that spike in volume there. The stochastic RSI on the hourly is now reset as well. The 4 hourly is heading down, hence this reset. We might come back down to 47 and come up again. Hopefully just setting a new higher low. But then on the daily, if I zoom out, as I said, not much to it, but the stochastic RSI on the daily is on its way up, but very low. So the daily, we could actually have a nice push upwards and test the 50-cent mark again in the next few days, possibly, if the news remains even vaguely bullish. What low cap? There's thousands of low caps out there. I'm not going to make any financial advice recommendations. Um, what's too many projects? 50 to 100. I think again, I'm going to refer to Fitz on this because he's a very good investor. If you can't tell someone the day after you trade what your project is doing and why, you're holding too many. So if you've got 5 to 10 and you know everything about them, great. If you've got 10 to 15 and you start struggling, you might have too many. If you've got 15 to 25 and you know half of them, you've got far too many. If you're holding 50 to 100 different projects, there's diversification, and then there's kind of like over diversification, and also you probably won't know everything about all 50 to 100 of those projects. No way, and you won't be able to react in time to news and markets. Not with 100. It's impossible to manage 100. Uh, what low cap coins am I optimistic about long term? I've got quite a few low caps that I personally am interested in. It depends again what you call a low cap. I've got some micros that I try not to mention too much on here because they are like a couple of million quid. And therefore, they're very, 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 very volatile. I've got some what I call mid caps, which are anything between 10 and 100 million. And then I've got my medium caps, like 10 million, 100 million to like maybe half a billion. And then you've got your high caps, which I tend not to buy too much of now these days, to be fair. Polkadot's really the only one in that area that I'm accumulating, and Quant, I suppose, as well. Yeah, Phil, 12's a good number because I bet you know roughly what's happening with those 12 all the time. Less than 10 is fine, or else your funds will be thin. Yeah, it depends obviously with the pot you're playing with as well. If you've got millions and you're putting a large amount of cash into various projects, it's different. I mean, for me personally, I know I've spread it too thin because, if I'm putting $50 here, $50 there, yeah, okay, if it 100x's, I get 5 grand. But, if I narrow it down, I'm more picky and I make wiser choices, I could put $100 into a 100x and I've got 10 grand. Um, yeah, it's just weird. VXV is a project that can change the world. Any thoughts? I love VXV. Absolutely love VXV. And to be honest with you, I was gutted. I'm going to try and not badmouth other creators because I don't like doing that. But there were a group of US creators, specifically TikTok, in the last bull run, that talked about VXV so much and created so much hype. Either because they were paid to, or because they genuinely all loved it so much that they couldn't stop talking about it. VXV just got pumped out of all proportions and was way, way, way overvalued. And it was never worth what people were paying for it. I think VXV right now has pulled back to a realistic price. It's still a great project, great tech, and a great team. As I said, I think it was accidental or deliberate shilling and over marketing last year that just made it look like a pump and dump. I don't actually believe that VXV is a pump and dump. I think we content creators have to take a responsibility to say that sometimes we talk about stuff too much, and a lot of people will lose money when everyone's talking about a project and everyone's buying. It can be grossly overvalued. I mean, currently VXV is like 17 million, fully diluted. It's 17 million. So the tokenomics on VXV are fantastic as well. Got to say that. But look at this. I mean, the price in the top of the bull run was like $18. I think I actually saw it at 20 at one point. It did spike. The market cap was 348 million. So you're talking there about a 20x in terms of market cap. But to get back to that price is way more than a 20x because the tokenomics have changed. So market cap, I think the market cap for VXV is achievable. It's a really good data set technologies. As I said, I just think it was way overhyped, way overvalued. It was relatively new and it just went insane. People went insane for it, and that can happen. I think it does have realistically a higher value than where it currently is. And the market cap it was at, it could be possible again in the next bull run, but just remember the price won't be. 20x to the next all-time high market cap. But in terms of price, you're looking at like a 60x, 50, 60x, something like that. So just think in terms of market cap as well as price. Very different thing. Tommy, how are you doing, buddy? It's all looking fairly decent at the moment, fairly stable. Monday will change that when trading opens. We're seeing a mixed bag of red and greens, which is typical for the weekend. The last hour has been pretty kind to a few projects, so that's not looking too bad at all. Please educate you what makes XRP so great. XRP is the token used on RippleNet. Ripple are doing deals with various banks and institutions to create ODL corridors and other services worldwide. Ripple is fantastic. XRP is only an issue in the US. XRP is fine in the rest of the world. No one else cares about its status as security. I hold XRP. I think it's a good project with a good team. I think, as with all areas of crypto, there's a cult community that overinflate price expectation. But as an investment, with what it's got behind it, with regulation coming forward, XRP and Ripple are in a strong spot as far as I'm concerned. And for me, they're a long-term hold. But I'm not going to tell you it's $50 or $100 or $1,000 or $50,000 or anything stupid like that. I've got my price target, and it's way lower than any of those. Have I looked into Nakamoto Games? Naka I have looked at. I do like it. I don't hold many gaming projects. Naka, UOS, Scala. There's a few others banging around. There's going to be a lot more competition in that arena in the next bull run. But Naka is set up it's in a good position. I don't currently hold any, but I'm keeping an eye on it. I think we're yet to find out, Jay. Nice one, Tommy. But yeah, I mean, it's all what as with any investment, crypto especially is very speculative, very much riskier. But if you look at what Ripple are doing and who they're doing deals with, it's much more likely to survive a regulated environment than anyone else. It's got one of the strongest use cases that have come out in the financial sector in terms of blockchain technology. So XRP for me is a good one. I don't currently buy any more. I'm accumulating it only through rewards on my spend card. But I've got a bag and I'm just going to sit on it. I do think at some point it will be worth more. And I've got my price target and I'm just going to stick to that. I'm treating it like any other investment. I'm trying not to get overly enthusiastic about these things anymore. They are investments. Right then, folks, I'm actually going to wind it up there. We've been on for quite a while, nearly an hour and a half, so I'm going to grab myself a drink and some lunch as well. Thank you for being here. I really enjoyed it. We were supposed to have an AMA yesterday. It didn't happen, so that will hopefully be rearranged, and we'll announce that again soon. But also there's going to be hopefully a few other bits of news coming out soon as well. So if you're not already following me here, please do. Also, the Discord, the link is up there in the top right. It's completely free. Come in, join us, have a chat about crypto or whatever. We don't always talk crypto. Sometimes we just take the piss out of each other. But there's also a link there to Swissborg, which is my preferred long-term investment platform. We had an AMA with them recently. So, again, you can listen to the AMA, do your research, and obviously then if you want to join Swissborg, there's a link there for you. But, yeah, I will catch you all soon. Thank you for being here, and take care. Brush your hair, as someone would say.